Hello, I wanted to cover going over using a freight core framework I put together. First off, everything is done via the campaign macro panel, so this is something you need to share with your players, or the campaign macros you need to share with your players. And when you first set it up, you're going to want to hit the library actions, which is F10, and this will let you set up this framework for either Fate Core or Fate Accelerator. There's two little options right here. For example, if I clicked on Fate Accelerated, so if I edit the library skills, I can see it uses the Careful Through Sneaky, but if I go to Fate Core and edit the library skills, it gives me all the standard athletics down through will. And in here also you can edit you can set up your consequences that you want to have that are stock. You can mess with the ladder, and you can add stress tracks if you want to add other stress tracks. But that's the library which sets up some of the default values in the system. So working with the system, it does this through character sheets, and you can see the button for that's right there. You can just hit F2, like here's an NPC Bard, and this character sheet lets you edit the aspects, the skills, roll skills, fate points, change your character dice, and then adjust your stress tracks, your consequences, and add stunts and whatnot. And everything has a character sheet. Like here's the scene. The scene has a character sheet. It has two aspects. This campaign has a character sheet. It has two aspects. For example, let's say the ship. I change the aspects on the ships. Everyone is seasick, high, heavy seas. Let's say the heavy seas goes away. Well, I can delete that. Hit OK. If I update the character sheet, you can see that aspect's gone. In addition to that, there's what's known as map aspects, which, for example, if I go back into Rogers, and I scroll the sheet over a little bit so we can see the map aspects on the bottom. If I say add another aspect to him, say he loves his harp, and hit OK, you'll see this changes. Everyone is there's a scene that has aspects. Everyone's seasick. The campaign has aspects. Things never change. Death stalks the city. Rogers has some aspects. He has a lousy singer. He likes his booze. If I update the character sheet, he loves his harp, which shows on there also, and he has a bum leg, which his bum leg is actually coming off his consequences. So if I delete that and say hit that and save the character sheet, you'll see that goes away. His bum leg goes away. And this makes it easy for players and everybody else to track any aspects on the scene. So if you got something special like a magical weapon and you want to have aspects, you want to have to track that, well, you can just drag a token representing that magical weapon onto the scene and get in this adjust and edit the aspects on it. So that's the character sheet, and everything interacts with the character sheet. In addition to in the character sheet, though, there is a token actions, and this is how the GM sets up and creates and clears tokens. The very first thing you'd want to do is, if you drop a token onto the board, is you want to set up as a blank fate token. So here I have a bar winch set up as a blank fate token, and now this has a character sheet. In addition, once you've done that, you can add things to a token. For example, I can add the library skills to the token, which I've added. Now if I look at this bar winch, she has all the skills, and I can roll all those. And I can adjust them also. Right, so on here, and so on. You can add a custom skill. Let me clear off her skills. For example, let's say remove token skills, so she no longer has skills. Now if I go to add a custom skill, because I'll give her an operations skill, and I bring that up, and you can see the bar winch now has an operations skill. Other things I can do with that is I can add library consequences, and this will give me the list: mild, moderate, and severe. If I add a couple of those, let's give her mild, and I'll refresh her character sheet. She has a mild consequence. But I can also add a custom consequence. For example, let's give her a tired consequence, which you can use in whatever situation. I'll refresh her character sheet. She now has a tired consequence, which is worth 2. I can add library stress tracks, which these are the stress tracks you set up in the library, like physical and mental. Let's give her a physical stress track, and let's give her a. If I refresh this sheet, you'll see that there's 2 points. I can also give her a custom stress track. Let's say let's give her her tired. Let's give her a energy stress track, because she gets tired as she goes throughout the day, and let's give her 3 points of that. She's a perky little NPC. Hit F2, and I can see there she has a stress track for energy. And this you can add stunts and extra boxes. For example, I do that and I refresh her sheet. She now has little boxes for tracking her stunts and whatnot. If I want to change her dice, like for right now her dice are black, I add dice to the token, and there I can change her dice. Let's say I'll give her dice are blue dice, and now when she rolls her skills, it'll come up with blue dice. And of course, I can also add fate and compel points to her. In addition to that, how these allow you to very easily customize your tokens in a lot of interesting ways. For example, here is a scene ship. I don't have really anything on the sheet for that. But let's say I want to do traveling and I want to have people roll their sailing skill and have a fate fractal for that. Well, I can add a custom stress track to that. Let's call it, and I'll call that travel. Let's make this a 10 stress track and update the sheet, and now I have a traveling stress track which I can click on and update, and maybe I use it for a chase scene, maybe I use it for on their traveling to their destination. When they fill it up, they get there or whatnot. And I can even add custom consequences, like maybe a consequence might be add a custom is a storm, and I could choose to soak. I can choose to soak travel stress with a storm consequence if I wanted to as a GM or something like that. But basically, this lets you set up tokens in any way you want to, as many stress tracks or whatnot that you want. To quickly set up a token, there's the bar winch. I have some presets made. I can set her up as if I click on create PC token, it'll set her up pretty much as a player character with all the skills and everything you need. I can set her up as say a fair NPC, and that'll pretty much set her up with just there's 2 skills, skill 1, skill 2, skill 3. I can rename those skills and anything I want, and just 1 point of physical, 1 point of mental, no consequences or anything. And it makes it easy to set up NPCs. So let's walk through this real quickly, and I'll set up an entire bar scene. Going to the crooked end. Right here, I've already got tokens on the board, but I don't have anything set up with these tokens. They're not made into fate tokens or anything like that. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and set these up as blank fate tokens. And I just click on a token and click on set up as blank. There's the guard captain and the guard patrol. So now these are all just blank tokens. I can do things with this. So let's take the scene token, and I want to edit the character sheet, and let's add an aspect. Let's call this a rowdy inn. And I'll update that. Close that out. And I'll see down here the map aspects have updated themselves, and you can see I have the rowdy inn in this scene. And let's add one to the aspect to the campaign. Aspect will be I don't know. Death stalks that campaign. Because a lot of people are dying for whatever reason. And okay. I'll update the sheet. I can see death stalks the campaign, and now I see that there. Let's set up the Dwarven Bard as a PC. So I'll click on a create PC token. Now let's add him an aspect. He's a lousy singer. Okay. Hit OK on that, and let's give him a fighting skill of 3 for whatever reason. So I see he's a lousy singer, and I've got a fight skill I can roll for him. Close him out. And you see the aspects again update. There's our Dwarven Bard. He's a lousy singer. There's bar patrons. Let's set them up as average NPC, and let's give them like a fighting skill here. And what the heck, athletics. Oh, 1. And let's give them an aspect really drunk. Again, that's just a simple NPC, really drunk. You see the sheet shows up. But what I'm going to do with this guy though is I'm going to, there's token options called change token into a mob. And let's turn this guy into a mob of 4. So it's mob size 4. Hit OK. Look at the sheet. And now you can see he didn't have any stress on him before, but now you see I have another stress shot called Dead Mook. So basically when one of these guys gets taken out, I can click on that to represent that it's no longer there. And that can help me keep track of things. Since this is a size 4 mob, that means I'd add +3. So they'd be fighting as a 4. But as I click one down, that lets me know I had to add +2. I'll click that down, that let me know I add +1 to it. And let's set up the guard captain as a good NPC. And let's set up his guard patrol as a fair NPC. And let's turn him into a mob also, a mob of 3. Now look at them. Now these guys had individual stress. I mean, like I'll show you the guard captain. He's a good, so he has 2 physical, 2 mental. Now when I made these into a mob, using the mob change token in the mob option, I created a dead mooks category because these are it's 3 of these guys, and also took the physical and mental and it made one for each individual person in that mob. So that way when this guy, he can take a point of stress, and when he dies I can click off a dead mook here. This guy can take a point of stress, and when he dies I can click off another dead mook here, and lets me know I've got 1 guy left down here. So, and I could give him Azuk if I wanted to, but I don't really need to. And this is basically how you can set up the board. And here's like, if the fight starts, I can just click on there and click on the character sheet and roll their fighting, and that's it. So well, I hope you enjoy this little video of the framework, and hope this framework is useful for you.